Getting accurate vector lines out of Blender. What's up? I'm Jonathan and welcome to Maker Tales, where I'm sharing my maker journey to help you go further in yours. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell icon to never miss an opportunity to keep making. I'm happy to introduce Outline to SVG, a free Blender add-on developed solely for exporting sub-millimeter dimensionally accurate vector files out of Blender, to later be used in other applications such as laser cutting, CNC, and graphic design. Installing Outline to SVG is like any other Blender add-on, with one small difference. It works in conjunction with Inkscape 1.0 to export a usable, cohesive SVG file. This means that you will need Inkscape installed in order to point the add-on to the Inkscape executable file. Step 1. Install Inkscape 1.0. Don't worry, it's free. The link is down in the description. It's as simple as going to the site, downloading, and following the instructions. Step 2. Download and install Outline to SVG. Click the link in the description and download the whole folder. This will give you a file that will have to be unzipped, which contains a small text file with some information about the add-on, along with another zip file, which is the add-on itself, which does not need to be unzipped. Step 3. Install Outline to SVG in Blender. Once installed and activated inside of Blender, it will request the file path directory of the Inkscape executable file. These here are usually the file paths for both PC and Mac. Using Outline to SVG is just as simple. Step 1. Click the Setup Camera button. This will set up a top view orthographic camera, which is the exporting system. A small word of warning though, moving this camera manually will give you off-scale and weird results. Step 2. Click the View Camera button to see the capture area of the exporting camera. Increase your desired capture camera area to fit what you need to export. I suggest that you keep this in multiples of 50 or 100 by using the slider below. And be sure to set the correct units of measurement for your setup. Step 3. Depending on your preferred vector editing program, you will need to set up your DPI for exporting at the correct scale. Inkscape works on a value using 96 and Illustrator is 72. Changing this value also controls the overall scaling and accuracy of your export. Step 4. Select your desired file destination folder, and then select everything that you would like the outline of to be exported as an SVG. Then decide if you would like to export this as every object individually on its own SVG file or altogether as a total SVG file via the drop-down menu. Step 5. Click Export and let Outline to SVG do the rest. This can sometimes take a good 5 to 10 to 15 seconds, depending on the complexity of your project. Outline to SVG currently supports NURB surfaces, text, single surface meshes, 3D meshes, meshes with active modifiers, and exporting overlapping meshes as a whole outline or individually, depending on the drop-down menu choice. Just a small word of warning for those who are just starting to use Inkscape, like myself. The dimensions that you see here aren't correct to the exact export because Inkscape adds the stroke width to the actual vector width itself. So this means that if you turn the stroke width to 0, you see that this is a perfect export. Most laser cutters have a stroke width default setting, so I know that for some it is 0.001 and for others it's 0.025. Just check within your community to find out which is the right stroke for your laser cutter. Here's a small practical example of Outline to SVG in use. If you'd like to know how to design this example, check out my finger joint box video. This add-on has been made possible by the wonderful people over at my Patreon. If you have found this add-on useful, I would love to have your support to further develop and maintain this add-on alongside other creative and precision-based add-on solutions. Consider supporting me through Patreon or giving me a token of your appreciation through the PayPal link below. I really do hope Outline to SVG is as useful to you as it has been for me, and opens up lots of potential in your creative workflows. If you have any feedback or suggestions, I would love to hear them via the Google form linked in the description. Thanks for watching, keep making, and let the quest continue.